Well, here we are in beautiful downtown Bedlam Farm, in famed artist Maria Wolf's fabled schoolhouse studio, known all over the world for the amazing work that's done here.
Wow.
Wow. All right, I'm going to have a good night tonight, aren't I? It's not hard, but you got to do it. So anyway, good to be here. And we're here to honor and discuss one of the most beautiful things my wife has done, which is to her blessed mother. This is a piece, a hanging piece, correct?
Yeah, it's called I call them fabric painting.
Fabric painting. I'm sorry, Maria. Why don't you take it from here? I'm in a
close
good
here.
roll. I'll stop on my head.
Well, this is my Mother Mary, inspired by being in Sue Silverstein's classroom, and she has in her art room she has a statue of the Mother Mary, and she's right there on the shelf with all the paintbrushes around her. So I wanted to make a Mother Mary that reminded me of Sue in her classroom and the kids in it and what they do.
And excuse me, but I think it's important to say that you're not really a conventionally religious person, to say the least.
No, I had no, like, before this, I really had no relationship with
And in fact, you've been known to speak in a disparaging way about organized religion. It has happened on rare occasions, not to be offensive.
It's true, and I grew up, like, my grandmother, she gave me one of those little medals with the Virgin Mary on it, and there was a Madonna in our front yard that us kids were not allowed to go near.
And you're still a potty mouth.
But yeah, so I grew up kind of with her, but never had any connection to her until I went into Sue's classroom. And Sue's the one who brought her out because she and Sue have a good relationship.
And it's kind of powerful because Sue has that statue right there, and you were doing the sewing class underneath it.
Right.
And we both felt this feeling about her.
Yeah, she's like right in the middle of everything, you know. She's
Why don't you tell her what Sue says about her?
About her being the 14-year-old girl. She always sees her as this 14-year-old girl who's pregnant with God's kid. And it's like, oh, what do you do with that? You know? So that's why I wanted to make her young. So often you see the paintings of Mary, and she has that very elongated face, and she's very sorrowful. And so I wanted to give my Mother Mary a young face. And then I gave her paintbrushes to hold on to instead of prayer hands. And this is the blue lace, is the blue. Virgin Mary is always in this blue color, historically speaking. And so I took lace that I had and I dyed it. And that actually idea comes from, I'm going to just show you this picture of, this is a 17th century carving of Mary Magdalene, and I just loved her hair. This was my inspiration for the piece, and the shape, how she has that traditional goddess shape. And so I thought I'm going to make a Mother Mary, and her hair, robes, whatever, it's a little ambiguous, is going to be blue, and it's going to cover her whole body. So that's what I did. And then I gave her the crescent moon of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And the conch shells come from my own childhood. From my grandmother always had conch shells around her Madonna. And one time I was gardening with her, and she took up one of the conch shells, and she pulled out this slug, with her bare hand and threw it away. And I was so impressed because I never would have picked up a slug. It was like, it's so disgusting. So that's why she has the conch shell. And I put her, the backing is a quilt. An old applique quilt with flowers on it.
And talk about where this is going.
So this is going to Sue. So I had a couple of people who were really interested in buying the piece and giving it to Sue. So Kathy was the woman who wound up buying her. So next week when we go to Bishop McGinn on Tuesday, I'll be able to bring her. So I'm just finishing sewing the backing on. I hand sew it on. And then it'll all be done. So we'll be delivering her next week. Thanks to Kathy.
Thanks to Kathy. Now I want to say something about Sue. I met Sue when I started working with Bishop Maggin on the refugees. She's the art and theology teacher there. And but she doesn't have a doctrinaire view of religion particularly, to say the least. And I've seen her change the lives of so many children who have often horrific backgrounds, grow up in genocide and wars and in refugee camps and starving, and she just turns them around and gives them hope and guides them and loves them, which is what they really need. She gets them all to college. She worries about them. They call her. They visit her. Everyone who sees her becomes her lifelong pal. And she and I became very close friends. And Maria started working, doing teaching and stuff at the Bishop Magin School as well. The school, as you may know, is closing, but the work will continue. And so I think it's great. It's just a wonderful thing that Sue is going to get this.
It's perfect. It's meant for her. I mean, and everybody on my blog saw that. I mean, everyone who said this should go to Sue. So many people said that. And she's going to take it with her when she goes to the new school. She sees it as a gift for her and her kids, as she calls them, her students.
And this experience has also touched you rather deeply, I think. Made you think about some things.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Sue's amazing. She's amazing to be around, and being in that classroom with these kids, and they're the ones who wanted to learn to sew, they're so eager to do it, and they're so much fun to teach.
You've done such a great job. So this has been a beautiful thing all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get to think, well, the Blessed Mother has some reach.
Yeah, I think she does.
Get some mojo there.
She definitely does. Yes.
All right,
yes.
great. Well, is that you have anything else to add?
I think that's about it. We'll see.
Well, it's a very beautiful thing. I've loved watching this happen. I'm inspired by it all, by you, by her. It's one of those beautiful moments that makes you really appreciate life.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to make a connection with her.
And appreciate art. It's amazing what art can ratify and acknowledge. That's going to be hanging on her for the rest of her life.
In her.
Well, good work, young lady. You should have a good future ahead of you.
Call me young lady.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I'm on a good roll here. I'm like kissing your ass left and right. This is going very well. I better get off now. I really better get stopped now.
You're going to say something.
I'm going to step in it any minute now.
Well, thanks, John.
Thank you, Maria. I love you, dear.
I love you too.